Welcome back, disgruntled space fans! Another day, another fake space mission. But this Blue Origin crew did what no other crew could do. They actually screwed up the fake space mission so bad that even normies and sheeple who believe in fake space, even they are calling this mission a fake mission. The main clip that is going viral right now across the interwebs is this clip right here where the door opens before Jeff Bezos opens the door himself. So they were supposed to get Jeff Bezos opening the door, but before the cameramen were set up, before they were ready, the door opens a few inches, and then you see they have the lady run over and say, not yet, close it. And then they close the door, and then they wait several minutes before Jeff Bezos goes to open it from the outside. See how it opens? The lady tells him to shut it, and then they shut it. So this simple clip right here of the door opening before it was supposed to lets people know that this whole thing is done for the cameras. This is basically just a big show put on for the television cameras. A lot of people noticed, including myself, that when Jeff Bezos does go to open the door, it flimsily flops open like some cheap RV trailer door.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys. She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys.
So they actually expect us to believe that that flimsy, floppy door withstands the harsh elements of outer space and re-entering the planet's atmosphere and pressurization. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, sure. You got it.
You suck. You suck.
Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower.
Another reason why people are not buying this Blue Origin space mission is because the launch itself looks like something you would see in a video game intro. Seriously, y'all, are we looking at Xbox 360 graphics right now? Or worse, Sega CD graphics? Watch the way the rocket leaves the picture right here at the very end. I mean, come on. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Now here is what I consider to be the creepiest piece of evidence as far as this fake space mission is concerned. Now, a lot of people will dismiss this as being a coincidence. However, I find this to be quite compelling evidence that there are evil forces behind these fake space missions. So if you look at the logo for this most recent Blue Origin mission with the all quote-unquote female crew, if you look at the logo itself and then you are to turn it upside down, invert it if you will, it looks an awful lot like a Baphomet's head. In fact, if you take a Baphomet's head and you line it up with the logo, it seems to fit just perfectly. Now, some folks are going to say, oh, you just made that up yourself. That's just some crazy coincidence. No, they definitely designed these logos with these marks of these beasts in mind. And I don't find this to be an accident at all. This is definitely not a crazy coinky-dink. And if you take it one step further, there were 6 members of this all quote-unquote female crew. So the number 6 being used, of course we know they like the number 666, and the fact that they're using 6 inverts, as in Transformers more than meets the eye. Yeah, you know what I mean. The fact that they're using these individuals goes right along with the Baphomet in the logo that's on their uniforms, right? So one thing we didn't see during the Blue Origin launch was a cutaway to the crew inside, floating inside the phallus head capsule, if you will. Yeah, we never did get to see that shot. So people were expecting that we were going to get to see like a cutaway live shot of the crew inside, floating around, doing flippity-doos and all that stuff. But instead, if you want to see the footage of the crew floating around inside the phallus head capsule, you have to go find an entirely different video on YouTube. Yeah, they didn't include that. So I had to go do a search and dig up this video on my own in order to see this 36-second clip. Imagine that. 3-6. Yeah. So this 36-second clip is all you can find, and it's full of cuts. So we don't get to see footage from start to finish of all the crew members unstrapping themselves out of their chairs, floating around, going upside down, tossing back and forth stuffed animals and playing with flowers, looking out the window, and time's up. Now you gotta strap yourself back down safely into your chair, right? During the free fall, you gotta be safely strapped down, so they have to make sure to have time to do all that. But we don't have a continuous camera shot of all that happening, now do we? No, what we do get is this highly edited, highly doctored, well cut up footage, collaging all of those moments together. And look at Katy's hair back there. It doesn't look like it's going straight up and shooting in every direction. Let's compare Katy Perry's hair to, let's say, one of those women on the space station. Yeah, how about we do that? You know how the women on the space station have their hair shooting straight up as if it was like hair sprayed to be stuck straight up in the air, or as if they were hung upside down or something? Yeah, you know how hair acts in space on a long-haired lady. Now let's compare that to Katy Perry's hair and all the rest of the crew's hair. You notice that their hair isn't shooting around everywhere? It isn't shooting straight up? Do you mean to tell me you have to be aboard the space station for it to do that?
Recollection is that you asked about how we move up there.
Yeah.
To get from place to place, you fly.
The thing that resonated the most with you said something about your hair. You could take one strand of hair and push off the wall with that hair and it would propel you backwards.
And I had bigger hair up there than the
You
guys,
did.
and so
You
it
had-
worked
yeah.
a little bit better for me. I let it grow because I wanted it to be, I wanted to scream 0G, there is a woman in space
It did.
for these girls.
Once again, this is another case of Jake's personal incredulity. Everyone knows that the space station is much higher in space than the Blue Origin phallus head capsule was able to achieve. So therefore, the gravity did not affect their hair follicles as much as it would affect the astronauts aboard the space station. That is your official mainstream science answer To anyone asking the question, why doesn't the hair of any of these crew members on Blue Origin go shooting upward the same way as the crew members on the ISS? So now for good measure, let's compare the Blue Origin launch with a launch from NASA from the year 2006. And I want you to pay attention to the astronauts' spacesuits. Look how big and bulky the spacesuits are. Look at the fact they have helmets on.
Discovery's 3 liquid fuel main engines now throttled back to 67% of rated performance, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the sound barrier. Discovery already 3.5 miles in altitude, 1.5 miles downrange, traveling almost 750 miles an hour. Everything looking good on the bird.
So this NASA rocket launch shows that the astronauts are all wearing big, bulky suits with helmets on. However, in the year 2025, when you're inside of a phallus head capsule made by Blue Origin, apparently you don't need a big, bulky suit or a helmet. Nope. As long as you are in the head of a Blue Origin rocket, then you don't need a bulky spacesuit or a helmet. Instead, you get to wear one of these really cool, sleek race car driver outfits. Like, seriously, what is this? This looks like something a professional go-kart driver should be wearing, rather than an astronaut.
How are you feeling? I know, Amanda, this has been a dream of yours, a long-awaited dream, and now it is finally official. You are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You know, I usually have nice words to say, but in this moment, I just want all survivors to know that you can heal. No dream is too wild, and that if it's so wild out there, like going to space, you can absolutely make it through, and it can absolutely be possible.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch. Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition. They grow through cement, they go through cracks, they grow through walls. They are resilient, they are powerful, they are strong, they are everywhere. Flowers are, to me, God's smile, but it's also a reminder of our beautiful earth and the flowers here and God's smile and the beautiful magic that is everywhere, all around us, and even in a simple daisy. So to really appreciate it and remember it and take care of it and protect it.
Right.